Good morning, students. I am going to start the module 4, which is Data and Analytics for IoT. So, in this one, the first chapter which we have to study is an introduction to data analytics for IoT. So, let us have introduction of the data analytics. So, before understanding the data analytics, first we understand what is the big data. So, in this world, in the world of IoT, the creation of massive amount of data from sensors is common. And one of the biggest challenges, not only from a transport perspective, but also from a data management standpoint. So, in IoT, a lot of sensors will be there. All the sensors have the potential to create very huge data. And since thousands and millions of sensors, they create a huge amount of data. So there are two challenges. One challenge is to transport it. Another challenge is to store it. Third challenge is to ma- uh, for the data management. How to manage this huge data. A great example, for example, let us see how big data can be created. A great example of the big data that can be generated by IoT is found in the commercial aviation industry and the sensors that are deployed throughout an aircraft. In the aircraft, millions of sensors will be equipped, it will be attached, fitted, and they will generate huge amount of data. Modern jet engines are fitted with thousands of sensors that generate a whopping 10 GB of data per second. So these modern jet engines, they can generate 10 GB of data per second. So modern jet and one sensor. Now modern jet engines may be equipped with around 5,000 sensors. So 1,000 sensors can generate 10,000 GB of 10 GB of data per second, then 5,000 sensors, how much it can generate? Almost around 50 GB per second. So the data generation is okay, but how to process it, how to store it, where to store it, what information we can extract from it. So that's a big challenge. A twin engine commercial aircraft with these engines operating on average 8 hours a day will generate 500 terabytes of data daily. A twin engine aircraft can generate 500 terabytes of data daily working 8 hours a day, and this is just the data from the engines. Aircraft today have thousands of other sensors connected to the airframe and other systems. So today nowadays aircraft have thousands of sensors are connected with them, and they can generate huge amount of data. A single wing of modern jumbo jet is equipped with 10,000 sensors. So you can imagine how much data they can generate. Uh, now, type of the data. Uh, Here we have there are two types of data. One is structured data, another is unstructured data. So what is structured data? Structured data and unstructured data are important classifications as they typically require different tool sets from a data analytics perspective. So structured data and unstructured are totally different uh, from the data analytics perspective. For example, left hand side the diagram which you can see it is a structured data, and right hand side it is a unstructured data. In the left hand side, in the structured data, data will be in a, all the data will be in a particular format, particular size, and they will have a standard structure. So they can be stored in table or some schema. But unstructured data, they don't have regular size, they don't have regular format, and they don't follow any rule. So this is the unstructured data. Now, what is structured data. So structured data means that the data follows a model or schema that defines how the data is represented or organized, meaning it fits well with a traditional relational database management system. So structured data, it means the data which follows some model or some schema, and it can be represented or organized in a meaningful, well, a, traditional relational database management or DBMS. So, in many cases, we will find structured data in a simple tabular form. For example, a spreadsheet where data occupies a specific cell and can be explicitly defined and referenced. In many cases, we will find structured data in a simple tabular form. For example, a spread let us see in the data present in tabular form. For example, spreadsheet uh, or Microsoft Excel sheet. So they are called structured data. They can be defined. They can be put in a particular table, in a particular rows and column format. So IoT sensor data often uses structured values such as temperature, pressure, humidity, and so on, which are all sent in a known format. So IoT sensors, they can generate some kind of structured data, as like temperature value, pressure value, humidity value, and etc. Structured data is easily formatted, stored, queried, and processed. The structured data, it can be easily formatted, stored, and queried and processed. Next, unstructured data lacks a logical schema for understanding and decoding the data through traditional programming means. So, the unstructured data, it lacks a logical schema for understanding, decoding the data through traditional programming. Unstructured data, they don't follow any schema. They don't have a regular size. They don't fit in one particular table. So, for example, of this data type include text, speech, images, and videos. A general rule: any data that does not fit neatly into a predefined data model is classified as unstructured data. Next, according to some estimates, around 80% of business data is unstructured. Because of this fact, data analytics methods that can be applied to unstructured data, such as cognitive computing and machine learning, are garnering a lot of attention. Since 80% of 80% of business data are unstructured, so to what information we can gather such a huge amount of data, how to process it, how to store it, for that machine learning is very much attentive. With machine learning applications such as natural language processing, we can decode speech. With images or facial recognition applications, we can extract critical information from still images and videos. So basically, image or facial recognition, they will be in unstructured data. Smart objects in IoT networks generate both the structured and unstructured data. These smart objects in IoT networks, they can generate structured and unstructured data. Next is data in motion versus data at rest. As in most network, data in IoT network is either in transit, means data will be flowing, or being held or stored. So those data which are in motion, those data which can flow from one place to another place, they will be called data in motion. But those data which can be stored at one place, they will be called data at rest. So for example, data in motion include traditional client-server exchanges such as web browsing and file transfer and email. So, for example, which all data can be in motion? So, data in motion include traditional client-server exchange. So, client-server exchange data is data in motion. Web browsing, file transfer, and email, they are data in motion.